Hey, welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. So on the line right now, I got the other half of the world-famous Two Live Stews, Mr. Ryan Evans Stewart. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you, man?
Hey, I'm fantastic.
Hey, you do know that we're still world famous, right?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
You do know that we're still world famous.
Hey, man, a lot of places we are.
I went to a bar in Columbus, South Carolina, with the kids yesterday. There's a bowling alley.
Wait, Columbus, South Carolina? You mean Georgia?
Columbus, Georgia.
Right.
Columbus, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there the whole night. I get done with my tab, which was $27, by the way. 2 beers, 4 mixed drinks, wings and fries, $27. As I'm paying my tab, the guy behind the bar goes, "Man, I think you may have lost a lot of weight, man. But are you Ryan Stewart of the Two Live Stews?" And I'm in Columbus, Georgia, man, and I hadn't done radio in almost 7 years. So,
Yeah.
Man, we all world famous, goddammit.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we were to a much bigger degree, obviously, back in the day. You're right. I mean, it doesn't fail. I'm not going to say every time, but most of the times when I'm in the airport, somebody will stop me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what I realized too? You know what I realized too? That the our little stint on what's the name of the satellite radio? XM. Our little stint on XM radio, man, really was big. Like people all over the country used to listen. I think a lot more people listen to us on XM than we realize. Yeah,
I agree, man. I really agree. No doubt about it, man. Well, at least you're still blessed to travel, man. But anyway, let's talk this sports, man. What you got?
All right, so we were talking about, and I was talking about this whole story about Kelly Bryant not getting a ring for the Clemson Tigers. We actually talked about this earlier this morning. And if you're new to the show, on the other line is my brother Ryan Stewart, one half, once again, of the world-famous Two Live Stews. We had a radio show once upon a time that was #1 in the world, and they got fired, and then nobody gave us a job again because we were blackballed for some reason. But anyway, what's that, man? What's that?
No, don't worry about it, man. Keep on, man. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So this Dabo Sweeney story, the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, doesn't want to give or didn't give Kelly Bryant a ring. What's your thoughts? This is a guy, Ryan, played college football at Georgia Tech and played in the NFL for 5 years. When you first heard that story, what'd you think?
Before I answer that, I need to clarify something and get some information from you, okay?
Okay.
Can I do that quick?
Yeah.
You are not a Dabo Sweeney fan, am I correct?
I clearly am not. No, not after the stunt he pulled a couple years ago.
You are bitter with Dabo Sweeney, even outside of the realm of football, because some would think, without really knowing,
he told us to go back. He told us to go back to Africa.
Okay, all right, That being said, I'm gonna ask you one more question before I answer. All right.
Okay.
Looking back at it now, was Trevor Lawrence the right call?
We don't know, and you may have missed this if you heard me earlier. We'll never know because who's to say if Kelly Bryant was still a starter, they still wouldn't have won a national championship. We'll never know.
No, I'm asking you. That's not. No, Doug.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no? What do you mean no? What?
I asked you, looking back at it right now, not about the future, what's going to happen, or looking back at it right now, would you say Trevor Lawrence was the right call?
I don't know.
Because
I just answered that.
If you can't say yes, then you're blind and you're mad with Dabo, and it's deeper than we even recognize at this moment.
Well,
it was and is the right call. We knew. And just being the realist now, and I love Kelly Bryant. Do I think he got the wool pulled over his face and got gas, banana in the tailpipe? Yes, I do. Okay, but 2 to 3 weeks into Clemson's camp, it was obvious that the Bryant kid was a better quarterback. I'm sorry, that Trevor Lawrence, was a better quarterback than Kelly Bryant.
Yeah, but
now,
Kelly Bryant went 16-2 and went to the college football playoff the year before and lost his job to a true freshman.
Okay, that is all true information, and I agree with everything that you just said.
Well, hold on. Remember what you were going to say, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show on X Squad Radio.
I remember.
Okay, remember what you were about to say. Can you, a guy that played a lot of football in his life, as I mentioned earlier, can you think of a situation?
Don't do this, Doug. Don't do this, Doug.
Can you think of a situation where an incumbent starter, the guy started the year before, his record as a starter was 16-2, lost his job to a true freshman? Can you give me?
Yes, I can give you one.
Give me one.
Darryl Frazier and Chris Patterson. Berkeley High School, 1986.
Darryl was never the starter. Even in your example, you're wrong because Darryl was never the starter.
Okay, so listen, man. To answer that question, I will say off the top of my head, I cannot think of anything, and I doubt that it's ever happened. But in sports, there happens to be first all the freaking time, Doug Stewart. It happens to be first all the freaking time. So in this particular situation, what you're talking about is a first-time situation.
Okay.
And then it's followed by the Alabama situation with Hurt and Tua. That's the second time. And guess what? There'll be a third time if the situation presents itself for a coach like Dabo Swinney to see an opportunity to win a freaking title. You can't tell me that Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban were wrong for starting freshman quarterbacks over guys that have won more than 10 games and played good football. You can't tell me they're wrong when the crux of the matter ends up being a national title.
Yeah, it's real hard to debate it, and you're right. Probably a lot of this has to do with the fact that I think Dabo's a piece of ish, and that he screwed Kelly Bryant. And you know how I feel. Hold on.
Even deeper than that, he's a Trumpite. But go ahead, finish. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, I mean, and you know how I am very strong about the plight of the black quarterback in general. Yep. And so that's a part of it as well. That's a part of it, but that doesn't mean that I'm wrong for feeling that way.
I'm glad you said that. The reason why you stay on this Dabo thing was because it was an All-American golden white boy to take the black boy spot.
Right.
But in Bama, you're not as pissed off because Tua is a minority his damn self. So that's why it's okay in your mind. Okay. And that doesn't make it okay, though.
Let me ask you a question, and this is the question I asked to Mitch the other day, and he started mumbling and scrumbling around. Okay, here's the question.
Yep.
Do you think if it was reversed, if Kelly Bryant was the incumbent starter, went 16-2 the year before, Kelly Bryant, white Kelly Bryant.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's good. This is good.
Right.
Good.
If white Kelly Bryant was the starter from the year before, had went 16-2, do you think that he would have lost his job to a true freshman quarterback that came in and looked fantastic in training camp, Kelly Bryant? Do you think that move would have been made if that were the scenario?
Listen, man.
Just answer the question. It's a yes or no.
I'm going to, man. I'm going to. My answer is no way in Sam hell.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But I would like to think, I gave you my answer to the question. I would like to think that if the white boy starter was
You're breaking
quarterback.
Okay, go ahead. You were breaking up. Go ahead.
If the white boy starter was a quarterback that was limited in his passing game, and the black boy that's coming off the bench was a more efficient passer of the ball, and a coach like Dabo or Saban realizes that here's my chance at beating the best team in the country, I would like to think that the trigger would be pulled.
Yeah, but you already said you don't think it would have been.
I don't.
What you're doing is you're believing in America. You're believing in right and wrong.
No, Doug.
Right.
What I'm doing is believing in a coach that wants to win, and that's what I've been telling you for the last year and a half. Dabo Swinney knew to get to a title